Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Guys, exciting times, exciting news. The MoneyGram XRapid live thing happened yesterday. I find it interesting that, that wasn't like MoneyGram, HR or PR people called the news stations and said we're going to do a press conference and we're going to talk about our reports, our quarterly reports, right? That was an in-house thing, right? Think about it. That was an in-house thing that we, as retail speculative investors, found out on our own and broke the news. Do you guys get the times that we are in? Do you get the times that we're in? That we can do that? That a dude on a Telegram chat, again, I always like to say that a truck driver, a bank teller can find this news and spread it. I find out about this, get the inside scoop. I love it. We are in exciting times. The MoneyGram thing with XRapid going live is going to be massive in so many ways. I don't know if you guys have been thinking about this, but I don't think it's a coincidence. They got the meetings with China, didn't go well, right? President Trump immediately, putting the hammer down, right? 10% tariff, right? Immediately putting that down. Right, and here's the thing that I'm thinking. Do you think they went into that meeting with China without a plan B? Right? They went in there with well, if this happens, this is where we're going. Well, if this happens, this is where we're going. They went in there with a plan B and a plan C probably. Right? So President Trump, next so meetings don't go well, next President Trump, here he goes. He's making his announcement. This is what he's doing. You got Pompeo doing his, being interviewed and talking about the bigger picture, what things going on. And then XRP Crypto Wolf, love the community, love our community, absolutely love the community. He lets us all know that, Monday, the feds are coming out. They're going to do a conference on payments. I mean, didn't we just hear from Jerome Powell? Didn't we just hear from Steve Mnuchin? And prior to that, didn't we just hear President Trump talking about Bitcoin? What is going on? And here's the answer. They're just letting us know that what they're rolling out. They're giving us little bits. They're preparing us. They're prepping us for what's about to take place. What in the world? I'm just wondering, what are they going to talk about on Monday at 1:30 Eastern time? What are they going to talk about? Do you guys think it's a coincidence at the hearing with Jerome Powell? And I think it's been 2 hearings with Congress was kind of all over the people from the feds. I don't even know if Mnuchin was one of them or not, but when Congress was talking, do you think it's a coincidence that they're bringing up the payments? No. This is, it's like theater, right? So, all the actors, they get their scripts, they go over them. I mean, haven't you seen that, right? The aide, the Congresswoman's aide comes up, brings her a piece of paper, and okay, yep, this is what we're going to do. It's going to be 1, it's going to be 2, it's going to be 3, and this is how we're going to work it. Here's what he's probably going to say, and blah, blah. Right? Theater. They know. They're just letting us know. Right? They're just letting us know. And trust me when I tell you, the presidential election, the payments and how that's going to work and how they want us to be able to get our checks. Why are we waiting for 2 weeks to get paid when we should be getting paid every single day? If we put in 8 hours of pay, why can't we get paid? If we work from 9 to 5, why can't we get paid at 5? Why can't that money show up in our account 5:30? those things are coming. I promise you that. They're coming. That is going to be the narrative. That is going to be the spin. That's the thing they're going to be talking about throughout the presidential election. And the one that mentioned it, the one that's pro us getting paid, right? You know, they got a leg up on everyone else that might not be concerned about it. But it's coming. So, guys, look at the steps. Step by step. Okay, A's done. Let's go to B. Okay, yep, B's done. Let's not go to C. Yep, all this is around, in my humble opinion, this level playing field that they talk about, that they keep shouting from the rooftops, this level playing field is 100, I don't know, 90% about China and what's going on with China. And basically, the major powers are saying, China, if you don't come on board, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. That's why China, Russia, and Iran is kind of doing their own thing. What a digital asset. They're doing their own thing with a digital asset right now, so that they can trade amongst themselves, China, Russia, and Iran, right? Because they're getting tired of, you know, the U.S. using SWIFT and trying to bully people around in the financial world. But it's all being laid out. The United States is not going to back down easily. They're not. They got a plan. They got a plan, and they are going to leverage the greatest digital asset ever created. That is XRP. There's no doubt about it. Gonna have the UK on board. Gonna have Japan on board. You know, I don't think it's a coincidence that who was it that was doing something with the GSA? Like, I want to say it's SBI. Like that cat, Mr. Cattell, is no joke. He's on some board in China. Major board, and I believe SBI did a working group with the GSA or some type of arrangement with the GSA, German, whatever that stands for. I believe it's SBI, and those guys are doing something together. I mean, that's not a coincidence. This new financial payment system is right around the corner. And XRP and the company Ripple all over it. All over it. So I'm excited about this thing on Monday. This is one of the rare times where I'd like the weekend to I'd like to get through this weekend, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to enjoy every second of it, every second of this weekend, and just the cherry on the top is going to be Monday at 1:30 Eastern. To hear them talk more, even if they don't mention Ripple and the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP, even if they don't mention it, the fact that they're talking about it, they can talk about this amongst themselves. Why are they having a press conference? Right? Do you understand what's going on? They're letting us know. And I promise you, it's coming. You know, we've been Mr. Garlinghouse and Brad, we've been working with them from, since way back when. If they've taken all the steps necessary to be compliant, you can just hear it. It's coming. That announcement is coming. Step by step. And I know the UK is on board XRP and all things. We're Ripple and all things XRP. Absolutely know that Japan is on board with Ripple and all things XRP. We're talking major nations here. And then Ripple just went out there and just did their thing. Established relationships in Saudi Arabia, established relationships in Latin America, established relationships in the Asian markets, establishing relationships in India. They are not messing around. And they probably, you know how you watch those war movies, right? And the generals and, the captains, they all get around this table and they're looking at this big map and this is where we're going to go. This is where we're going to go. And this is where we're going to go. Wouldn't surprise me in the least bit that that's what happened with Ripple. Perhaps Jerome Powell, perhaps Stephen Mnuchin, perhaps President Trump, all around this table. All right, this is where you need to go. You need to establish some relationship here You need to open up a bank here. You need to open up this point, a POS here, if you will. Can't you see it? Again, guys, why is there announcement? Why is it all of a sudden there's an announcement after announcement after announcement? Because they know that China is looking like they're not going to play ball. And they already know about Russia. Like they already know that. They already know it. They already know that China and Russia are talking, and they're going to do their thing. They're going to use a digital asset to create their own coins and trade amongst themselves. They already know. We're talking about international trade. They already know. And they got a counterpunch. The United States has to counter a punch. So does Japan. So does the UK. They already know it. And they're going to leverage this asset. And look, China may have a reign over Bitcoin, but they don't have it over XRP. They don't. And you know, you just can't overlook the fact that Ripple is a US of A company. You can't overlook it. You can't dismiss that. It's major. It's important. It's the way it is. This new financial system that's coming about, and it's coming, has XRP and the company Ripple all over it. Without question. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. I mean, that announcement Monday is going to be, again, it's not so much what they say, it's the fact that they decided that they were going to do a press conference about it. Not talk amongst themselves behind the doors. That is what's important. Because they're letting us in on what is going to happen. What's going to happen? XRP is a bridge currency for the world. And who knows what else they might decide to do with it. Because when the president of UBS Bank tells the world and all their buds, all his dudes, you know, other banks and the central banks are hearing this. When this dude says we went from paying $25 to transact an international payment to less than $1, to less than $1. When they heard about that, over. Game over. And let's face it, you know, I did a couple videos about this, and a lot of people disagree with me in the beginning about this. But listen, when they talked, I said that XRP, you know, perhaps this is an inside job. And I was relating it to the movie with Denzel Washington and Clive Owens. And was it Inside Man? Might have been Inside Man. Inside Man. Yeah, it's an Italian job. Inside Man. Denzel Washington and Clive Owens. Awesome movie. This is a great movie. And I've always believed from the beginning that the company Ripple and XRP, when they made that pivot to when they were sitting, you know, having some coffee, having some beer, and said, what problem can we solve with this XRP? The peer-to-peer thing is cool, and that's awesome, and it's fun, but yeah, that's not gonna work. You know, that's not gonna work long term. And it's certainly not gonna work initially, and it's certainly not gonna work in the current times that we're in. What else can we do to penetrate this market, to get this product into the marketplace, to make a difference in the world? Oh yeah, there's no Servosa accounts in these banks. That's trillions of dollars there. We can free that up. And I still believe in my heart of hearts that, you know, it's an inside job. And in other words, the banks and the banking system was a way for Ripple and its idea that's still embedded in them to get on the inside of the banking system. Don't, you know, shout from the rooftop with an axe in one hand and a shotgun in the other hand, saying how you're going to take them down. You just played your hand. You're loud. That's loud. And they can better prepare for that. But if you're on the inside, you can make a difference. Because let's face it, besides the 5 to 7, maybe 8 major banks, all the 95% of the banks are beholden to those top 5 to 8. The top 5 to 8 are the ones making all the real major money because they're monopolizing the system. Right? You got to think about that. And don't get me wrong, we all see fees. We all see bounce check fees and this kind of fees and an ATM fee and a checking account fee. We all see the fees, but where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? It's a survival for the majority of the banks because they are beholden to the medium and the small banks, and even a little bigger than medium banks are all beholden to these top little 5, 7 banks who are gouging the system. That's why those top banks are trying to come up with their own thing. They don't want to lose that cash cow that they've had. We've got senators and Congress people saying that they don't want the banking system, this banking cartel, to continue to win. They want them wiped out. They want them taken out. They want to change that. Never forget that the banking system is massive. You could say the Federal Reserve is is owned by the banks, so we're privately owned by the banks. Major banks. Perhaps that's what the level playing field is about. But in my opinion, that's been XRP and Ripple's thing from the beginning. A way to get in, a way to make changes from within. And the first place to do is free up all that stupid no-show money that's been tied up and having to do all this pre-funding and all this other mass. Listen, the global economic crisis. The global economic crisis is about illiquidity, the lack of liquidity. And XRP solves that. And if Ripple, the company, would have taken a different approach, it would have been loud. If they would have taken the approach of Bitcoin, it would have been loud and resistant. This debate, I don't know if you guys caught that debate with Peter Schiff and Anthony Pompliano. One of the things that Peter Schiff said, now this was gold in Bitcoin. This wasn't gold in the digital asset space. This was gold versus Bitcoin, the one digital asset, not the entire digital asset space. And Peter Schiff eloquently stated, what makes you think that there isn't a better technology than the first one? Whenever has the first one been the one? Do you understand what he's saying there? There's this saying in business is that the first one through the door usually gets shot. In other words, the first one that comes through the door usually is not. It's a great idea. They expose the world to what's possible, but generally they're not the best. Right? There's a Blockbuster and then there's a Netflix. There are taxi cabs, then there's an Uber. There's better technology. And he kept saying that. What makes you think there isn't a better technology than the Bitcoin technology? I mean, this is what this gold guy says. And listen, the powers that people in the know about XRP and its technology. They know. It's only the mass media who says silly things like a banker's call. It's only the regular worker bees who say that, who don't know, who have no clue. The technology is the technology, and XRP holds the better technology. Ripple holds the better technology, and their asset is XRP. X-Rapid is massive, and one again, it's not just in the payment systems; it's in different areas, in different verticals, and they know it. They know it. I'll never forget when I watched that little talk on the Wall Street Journal. Was it Wall Street? Wall Street. Modern Wall Street. That's what it was. YouTube channel. And it was Jim Rickards. It was a hedge fund manager / owner. It was a big time massive trader. It was 4 people there. I forget what the other guy was. And he had the lady there who was the moderator. And I never forget when they brought up Bitcoin. When he brought up XRP, he said, what about Ripple? Because they had kind of, it was all kind of negative with Bitcoin. Negative this, that Jim Rickards, like, he slammed it. You know, this is this, what value, what use case. I don't agree with him wholeheartedly on that, but it was all negative when it came to Bitcoin. All negative. And then one guy says, well, what about Ripple? You know, Ripple's been working with the regulators. Like, how does this dude know that? Because he's in the know. And if he knows, you don't think he's been telling his boys about it? But he said, what about Ripple? They've been working with the regulators. They do this. They saved these companies major amounts of money. And then one guy on the other end of the table said, yeah, absolutely, certainly do. And I'm looking at Jim Rickards. And he has, if you know Jim Rickards, right, he's not shy. He's not short on words. That dude wouldn't say anything. He didn't raise his hand. Hey, can I step in and say something? Nothing. Nada. Nothing. And I thought you should have seen his eyes. I thought to myself, isn't that interesting? The dude who is never short on words, who can just wax poetically on any topic he wants to. Nothing. Because he knows. And they know. The greatest digital asset ever created is out there. And it's doing major things. And it is going to help solve the global economic crisis. And that is the illiquidity that is in the marketplace. And this reset that people like from Lynn, I forget her name, is it Lynn Zaget from ITM Trading Solutions. Forgive me, Lynn, I forgot your last name. She says there is, in fact, the reset is coming, and that she believes it's going to be kind of like the gold dollar reset. You know, if that means going back to the gold standard, whatever that looks like, she knows it's coming. And what the reset is going to, whatever that happens and whatever it looks like, XRP is going to be all in it, all around it. There's a reason why IMF and Christine Lagarde were walking around with Brad, hanging out with Brad. There's a reason for that, right? Christine Lagarde's busy, right? Madame Lagarde, right? She's got things to do, right? There's a reason why she was walking around with Brad. Trust me when I tell you that. So, I always kind of go off on that tangent about the inside man, because I really, really believe it. Because, the people from Ripple, they were around in 2008. And don't forget that them boys from the beginning, they hung out with the Bitcoin people. They were all just kind of figuring out things out together. What they were all sitting around trying to figure out what can we do? What can we do to feel less powerless? What can we do to put the power back in our hands? And never forget that XRP was spun off and created to be a better Bitcoin. That's the truth. Ask David Schwartz. That's the truth. We think we can do it better. We have a better idea. We have a better way to do it. We have better technology. That's it. Smart guys and smarter guys. That's all. That's it, right? That's what it was. So here we sit as you and I, as XRP holders, in a blessed spot. Absolutely blessed spot. And I gotta tell you, I love the fact that, listen, it was Tom T in the Investment Perspective Telegram chat or group. And if you guys aren't part of that, you listen, get on Telegram, search Investment Perspectives, join that group. I mean, massive. The stuff that comes in that group is outstanding. And I'm just on there, most of the time I'm just reading it. I'm reading the comments, reading the posts, leveling up my XRP IQ. Because I know what's up. I'm not just going to hold the asset. I'm going to be better educated about the asset. I'm going to when I go out to the marketplace, I will be prepared to make an intelligent argument. Right? You understand? Because if you're going to talk to your boys about this digital asset, you got to be prepared. You can't just say, well, because that's not good enough. Remember, they don't know what they don't know. So you got to be prepared. So definitely join that group. Definitely join the Investment Perspectives Telegram chat group. But it's a dude on there. I think one of them was Crypto Popo, and Tom T XRP is the dude who posted the audio of that MoneyGram quarterly report. I mean, when I listened to that thing, I was so excited to hear that, and just to hear the CEO of MoneyGram's voice and how giddy he was. I told my girlfriend he sounded like a 12-year-old kid who just won the Little League World Series. He was so giddy when he said XRapid is live, and how XRapid and the currency exchanges went through in seconds. Because you know why he was so giddy? Because he knows how awesome the next quarterly report is going to be. He knows. He's like, holy we about to be in the whatever it is, in the black instead of in the red. Whatever the one where you're losing money and now you're making money. We're about to be in the making money. We're about to be the one. Especially if Western Union continues to walk around stubborn, kicking their feet, kicking, dirt up, kicking water up. Like, you ever see the little kids, they get so bad, they just jump up and they just, next thing you know, they're on the ground, kicking and screaming. That's Western Union. Kicking and screaming. They know it's what MoneyGram knows what's up. They know. You should have heard him. If you haven't heard that, I hope you can get to the. I think it's Bank XRP to put it on his Twitter page as well. That might be a little easier to find than trying to scroll through Investment Perspectives thing. But in any case, join that Telegram group. But listen to that audio, guys. I mean, it's around the 4-minute mark, right around 4 minutes, where he talks about XRapid and Ripple. Music to my ears, I can guarantee you that. And guys, you got to think about this when you're strengthening your resolve through this 31 cents. When you're strengthening your resolve through these weeks and months of 31 cents, listen to that audio. Think about the partnership. Think about all the banks going live. No, listen to the feds. Listen to the words. Listen to the words behind their words. With Stephen Mnuchin, we're interested in saving money and faster payments and how we can do that. What? We're interested in doing that. And companies like MoneyGram who are doing it right. What? Listen to the words behind the words, guys. Listen to the meaning behind those words. It's a rollout. They're telling us what's up. You just got to strengthen your resolve. And trust me when I tell you this, when you're the one who has persevered through this bear market and this price thing, and if it's a year from now or if it's 2 years from now, when you're the one who can say that, trust me, you're going to be so much better off because of it. You'll handle your money better. You'll do better things with your money. You'll make better decisions. Because you've learned to discipline your disappointments. You've learned to exercise patience. You've strengthened your resolve. These are the things that are necessary to not just get the wealth, but keep the wealth. If you don't have those things, you're in trouble. There's a reason why they have an accredited investor. There's a reason behind that. Right? There's a reason for that. And so that's what we're doing. We're preparing ourselves to walk into that space of being an accredited investor, making intelligent decisions, doing the right things with our money, having a team behind us. All these things we must do, right? It's just not holding. It's just not putting some money up and getting some money and going to spend the money. You got to have a team behind you, right? All these different things. You got to level up your IQ, financial IQ. You got to level up your digital asset space IQ. You have to level up your XRP IQ. Why? So you don't lose it all when you get it. So you don't get when it moons, so you don't lose it all. Right? And I get excited about knowing that, I'll be able to hit up DNI. Smart guy, does a lot of smart things with his money. I'll be able to sit and talk with Brad Kimes. One of the greatest things you can have is a network of people who are marching to the same beat, who have the same ideas, or who are all looking to level up their lifestyle. And you can network here. You can get a recommendation for something here. You can get a recommendation for someone here. You can be turned on to some dude here. Right? That's the network. It's the power of the network. And in the XRP community, there just isn't a better network out there in the digital asset space. So I'm excited about that. So anyway, guys, I wanted to hit you up with that. I hope you're excited. Look forward to Monday, 1:30 Eastern. I don't know where it's going to be, but I'm sure it'll be on all the major channels. And you want to check that out. And again, it's not what they say. It's what they're not saying. It's the words. It's the meaning behind the words. But it's going to be an exciting time. Guys, listen to me. Never, ever forget that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. The battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.